Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Good.
So today we are talking about the Nestor Miranda collection Corojo Robusto. The cigar is 4.5 inches by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the My Father factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Nicaraguan Corojo. Binder and filler are both listed as Nicaragua. Price point on the cigar is $7.50, and the cigar was released in July of 2016. So, June, what was your pre-light experience with this cigar like?
Good pre-light experience. I thought that the wrapper had a semi-oily Colorado Maduro shade wrapper. Veins roughly pressed, seams tight but visible. Cigar's packed full of tobacco, and there's minimal give to it. And it felt, and for such a little cigar, it was pretty weighty on the hands. Head wrap with a thick triple cap. Moving on to the nosing experience. Off the wrapper, I got red pepper, cedar, and some floral notes. On the foot, bread, dried nuts, and white pepper. And on the cold draw, I got cardboard and a subtle white pepper going. So all in all, good.
Yeah, it had a nice Colorado red color wrapper to it. Had a little bit of marbling. Seams were nearly invisible, kind of how that color, how the color pattern was. It was really hard to see it. Three very well applied caps, bands primarily black, silver lettering, and some yellow accents on there. The aroma from the wrapper was barnyard, and the foot gave a kind of a mix of leather and a slightly sweet hay. The pre-light draw, interesting, gave me a kind of like a red pepper note on my tongue. But when I would exhale, then I get a little bit of hay there. So that was kind of interesting. It was just very distinct that the red pepper would just show up on my tongue. Like I just knew it was hitting there. It's not common that I kind of get that experience. So that was interesting. Flavor wise, what was your experience like with the cigar?
From the first third, the note that really captured me was I got this really great creamy bread, abundance of it. But that creamy bread was also surrounded by dry earth minerality, got some baking spices, oak, faint black pepper, and cardboard. When I was retrohaling, strong black pepper, more of that creamy bread, and stale dried nuts. Finish medium in length. Notes a slightly harsh black pepper on the rear palate and dry oak. In terms of strength and body, medium mark. Moving on to the second third. The second third became a little bit more wood, oak, and spiced black pepper dominant. The remaining flavors of the creamy bread, dry earth minerality, baking spice, cardboard, they're still present, but it was more of a wood and pepper centric kind of a cigar. Retrohale, same. Still has that fierce black pepper, creamy bread, stale dry nuts. Finish still medium in length, but it no longer had that black pepper on the rear palate, but instead I got some slightly harsh dry oak and cardboard. Body and strength still at the medium mark. Moving on to the last third. I thought the cigar lost some complexity, and it mainly just gave me this like dry earth minerality in a cream, slightly harsh oak. The retro, that creamy bread was lost, which was unfortunate because I dug it so much. And it was just namely strong black pepper and stale dried nuts. Finish remained unchanged from the second third, still slightly dry oak and cardboard. Strength increases somewhere between medium and medium full, and body still remain at the medium point. But overall, for such a little cigar, quite a lot of things went on, I thought.
Mhm. Yeah, the initial draws brought like a full mix of black pepper and spicy cedar, and then at a 1/4 inch in, that black pepper mellowed a bit, and that spiciness kind of left the cedar. Retrohale was a really full cedar that had a little bit of a spice to it. 3/4 of an inch in, pepper mellowed out even more, and the cedar is up front with a little bit of cream that had just kind of joined in there. And as the third was coming to a close, the pepper was almost completely gone, and the cedar had transitioned to more of an oak, while that cream was still kind of in the profile there. And the strength for me was just slightly above medium. And then getting into the second third, primarily still a slightly creamy oak. The retrohale was still carrying a slightly spicy cedar to it. And then at a 1/4 inch in, the cream goes away and just left the oak. And the retrohale was also just oak at that point. At an inch in, the oak was slightly drying on my palate. And as the third was coming to a close, the oak was still slightly drying, and a little bit of bitterness started to join in. And the strength was still at the slightly above medium mark. And then getting in the final third, that dry oak and the slight bitterness were continuing on. And then at a quarter inch in, the bitterness was really only present there on the finish, and the oak became a little bit less drying. And then at 3/4 of an inch in, the slight bitterness pretty much went away and turned into a kind of a little bit of a mintiness. And the retrohale was a really nice full oak. And then as the cigar was coming to a finish, the full oak was in the mouth and also on the retrohale. And that slight mintiness was still there on the finish as well. And the strength bumped up in that final third to be right at medium full for me. So performance-wise, what was your experience like?
Good constructed cigar in terms of both the burn and draw. Burn's very good. I smoked this cigar in which I wouldn't call this a Robusto. This is more of like a short Robusto for me.
Kind of like a Rothschild kind of size.
Yeah, exactly. Hour and 40 minutes. Incredible smoking time. Burn line, razor sharp the whole time. Ashes slightly flowery. Held on tight, averaging 1.5 inch increments. Draws also very good. So it's slightly snug for my liking, but you know, I'm just being totally nitpicky. But you know, I never lost focus on the flavors of the cigar. So really, with that said, no issue with the draw.
Yeah, construction for me was really perfect. Burn was razor sharp the entire way. Ash was holding on for me in about 1 inch increments, and then same for the draw. I mean, just the right amount of resistance that I prefer. So I really had nothing to even pay attention to in regards to construction. I was just able to smoke it and enjoy the flavors. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
I like the cigar. I thought that, you know, especially given that creamy bread note, that's actually like a personal favorite note of mine. And with that, you know, but you know, don't get me wrong. Like if it's a cigar that just has that note, it could be kind of sickening, kind of sweet pastry like.
Mhm.
But it was not the case with this cigar. I thought, you know, with that creamy bread, it was really well surrounded by that spice and earthiness, and that made it for just really surprisingly long, kind of a laid back smoking experience for me.
Yeah, the cigar started out with like some intense pepper and cedar, but eventually kind of settled into like a primarily oaky profile, so kind of standard. It became drying at times, which that's not ideal. And the strength was slightly above medium the entire way, so I think it fits in with most smokers' profiles. For those that like milder cigars, it's probably not going to be something that they're going to enjoy. I think this is an okay addition to the Nestor Miranda collection line, but I'm not really sure how often I'd go back to it. You know, kind of overall, I just thought it was an average cigar. So I think there's a good amount of cigars out there that I enjoy more. So I'm not really sure how much I'd go back to this one. For me, it smoked for quite a while, and I think I probably smoked it for maybe close to 2 hours. So for a Rothschild size, it was a pretty good smoking length. But getting into the scores, I gave it a 6.33. You gave it a 6.67. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
It mashed up well. I mean, I enjoyed the flavors of it. Rated it a good within the first and second third, and average on the last third. Mainly because I kind of felt like the last third kind of dropped in complexities. And then, you know, compound that by very good scores on both burn and draw. You know, it made for something like in the, you know, high mid sixes.
Yeah, my score matches up well. I mean, it was definitely helped out by the perfect construction. If it was just kind of really based on flavor, it'd probably be in the mid fives or high fives for me. So just slightly above average. But overall, the cigar's good. There's not much to complain about in regards to this cigar. So I scored the first third good, and then second and final third is average. So it started out with some complexities and things like that, but then it kind of just became pretty linear the rest of the way. So any other final thoughts from you on the cigar?
Um, Kind of unlike you, I look forward to trying more of these. I think that especially with something like this, a lot of these have a tendency to go on sale, right? So that's
Sure.
$7, which, like most cigars, I mean, they're gonna go on sale, unless if you're trying to buy some Davidoff Orals or something. Uh, but I enjoyed it. I think I'm really liking the stuff that comes out of like the Dominican kind of Corojo based cigars. I think
Right.
I have like this really newfound appreciation for it, perhaps.
This one's Nicaraguan Corojo, so
Oh, Nika Corojo. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Sorry.
yeah.
I thought it was the Jamaican Corojo, but regardless, I liked it and look forward to more of it.
Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com, and be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. And now you can catch all of our recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, Podbean. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.